Hey everyone, my name is Brandon, and what you're watching will officially mark my first video blog. I've been meaning to make one of these for a really long time now, and I really haven't had the chance to, so I'm definitely going to indulge in this opportunity. So congratulations to me and to you, because this is a very exciting moment in history. And so the first topic I wanted to discuss is kindness. Now, I know a lot of you may be thinking, oh well, kindness, that's so cliche, or that's so typical. And yeah, it is. And there's also a reason for why it is, but quite frankly, I think it's something that we believe to be so fundamental that we just end up waving it over our heads. I personally feel that we as a majority have this tendency to ignore many of the small factors that contribute to kindness, and instead we end up focusing on what ultimately leads to the greatest return, the grand flashy acts of kindness, kind of like this one right now. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I believe it's very necessary in certain situations, especially if you're trying to get someone's attention. But what I'm trying to suggest is to maintain that balance between the intrinsic goodness in itself for an act of kindness and the extrinsic values of being recognized for it. So kindness. Sorry, I just went on like a super long rant. Anyways, kindness has no face, I don't think. And by that, I mean that it's a spirit of expression that lives within all of us. It's not an emotion, though it is often accompanied by sympathy or compassion. And the reason for why I say it lives within all of us is because I believe that it is a characteristic of our actions and not necessarily something that we have to feel. Anyone who is capable of making a decision is capable of kindness. It's just a matter of wanting to do it or not. Kindness isn't something that we should have to be told to radiate either. Does your teacher need to tell you or give you permission to call someone beautiful? Do your parents or your friends or doctrine need to remind you the mindfulness behind kindness? Perhaps instead it's something that we should possibly try to realize, and we can acknowledge it together right now. Just joking. No, I wasn't joking. I'm just saying. So don't be afraid to call someone beautiful, but you don't mean it when you say it. It's better to say nothing and mean it than to say something that you don't mean at all. But if you truly feel that way, call someone beautiful because of who they are. Call someone beautiful because said person has never in their life been called that before. So I just want to ask you all just to imagine, just to think for a moment, how it feels to you when another individual steps out of his or her way to do something kind for you. Sometimes it's shocking. simply because it's unexpected and sometimes you just don't know how to respond. But a lot of the times, I'm assuming it would make you feel pretty damn good, like pretty great. I mean, just imagine being made breakfast in bed. That's pretty cool. Imagine living in a household, where no one's constantly fighting. Imagine having someone to hold you tightly when you're feeling awful. All of these things exist in a perfect world. They exist in the movies, they exist in books. But why shouldn't they exist here, right now? And they can if you don't simply sit and wait for it to happen. They can if you decide to take the first step in making it so, I think. Instead of longing for kindness, it's something that we should show, Show to the world the affection that you desire, and just maybe it will come back around to you. I can guarantee you that your odds would be a lot higher than if you were to do nothing, right? If you just sit around and wait for it. I think it's important to realize that every decision that you make I'm sorry, that was so weird. I think it's important to realize that every decision you make ripples into an infinite amount of effects. Everything is a cycle that complements its precursor. When you call someone beautiful, they may have a fantastic day. During that fantastic day, they may take an extra step to study hard in school because high self-esteem, because they've been recognized. One day, that individual may be the one maybe the doctor to save your life. Each one of those steps is complemented by something called the feel-good, do-good phenomenon. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a psychological theory which states that we're more likely to help others. We're more inclined to help others when we are already in a good mood. One act of kindness may grow into 1,000. 1,000 may grow into 1,000,000, and so on. Now I understand that there may be some of you who are watching this who may not have ever experienced the kindness of another person. Possibly because of who you are, or the things that you do, or whatever it may be. But know that this is my act of kindness to you. This is my incentive to you. Please, everyone, you have to realize that there's at least something in this world that is currently suffering greatly. There's always something or someone who has no one. And I say something because humans aren't the only things to inhabit this world, and we need to realize that. Everything else that is not human still deserves respect and consideration. How can you live in a world where you're used and not appreciated? And how can you live in a world that does not at least try to move away from inconsideration? Stop doing things because you are told to. Do things because you want to. Understand why you're doing it, and most importantly, be kind and acknowledge everything that's involved. That's very important. Now, I understand that everything I said may have sounded very paradoxical and assertive, It's not often someone is told not to do the things that they are told to. But know that I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm trying to make a very humble suggestion that may potentially open new doors. I would rather you not do anything I said because you strongly disagree with it than to go out and speak without any insight to these deeds. In other words, show your kindness not because I told you to, but but because you want to. Throughout everything I've said this far, please don't take it as a personal attack towards your own collection of beliefs. I'm very well aware that I use the word you a lot, and I do so to kind of connect with everyone. So, this whole video blog thing picks up, which it may or may not, and I'm alright with either outcome. I would actually be very interested in expanding on it. This is kind of a far-fetched idea, but I've always wanted to give something positive back to society, and all these years I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, and I still don't know. So if you genuinely want to, please, I would be absolutely honored if some of you shared my video around. Maybe I'll be the next, Bropra Winfrey. I like the way that sounds. No, I'm just joking. But I would like it if some people sent me ideas for other topics, or openly discuss some of these things here. Maybe I'll make a project out of this. I've been thinking of a name for it as well for a reasonable amount of time now, and I really like the Thoughtful Buddha. And it kind of has a cool ring to it. Mind you, please, this has nothing to do with religion, so don't get me wrong. I just really appreciate the concept of individuals who seek to broaden their awareness and compassion, not only for themselves, but for everyone and everything around them. And I think a Buddha is a suitable example, if not a very appropriate goal, in order for us to grow and progress as one, and accept one another for how we are. So yeah, again, open heart and an open mind, right?